I'm Casey.
And I'm Corey.
And we are the Wright Brothers. I'd like to welcome you to this edition of the Tech Corner.
And in this edition, we're going to be taking a look at how you can start to build a legitimate email database.
This is a topic we have had requested of us several times, and I think it's because it's becoming an absolutely essential skill in the 21st century. If you want to succeed in business today, you have to have a viable email list. Corey, tell me, you're out in the field, even more than I am. You see this a lot. Who are the people, what are the common denominators among the people who have viable email lists?
I think the major common denominator is those people who have a legitimate email list or a legitimate email database all have a reason that they built that around. So whether it's they have a newsletter they send out every week or every month, whether it's that they like to send birthday cards over the email, or whether they have a blog that they like to send regular updates over, all these people with legitimate email databases have a reason to collect them, and that's why they've started to build such a legitimate list.
Now, it's kind of an interesting point. So you're saying get your reason for building an email list first. That'll help you. That'll keep you motivated as you go through the process.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, now that you have a reason to put that email list together, tell me, who should be on that email list?
Well, the answer might be somewhat shocking to you, but everybody. And let me put that in context. Everybody that you know. So whether it be, you can start with the obvious, your family and your friends, those people who are closest to you. But then you can start to expand beyond that. Start to look at people who are involved in groups or organizations that you may be involved in. Maybe your church, maybe the Little League team that your child is on. Whatever it may be, always be looking for email addresses, even down to the person in front of you in line at the grocery store. So if you start to have a reason and you really have some legitimate content that you can send and a legitimate reason to build that, you're going to be excited about bringing everybody into your list.
All right, great. Well, I get the feeling here that we have just scratched the surface. There's a lot of great ways specifically that you can flesh out your email list. That's what we're going to dive into right now. All right, Corey, so I can see we have 4 great ways to collect email addresses up here, but before we get started, it says in big caps with 3 exclamation points, "Don't buy list." Explain what you mean by that.
Does that really need an explanation?
I guess not, huh?
It doesn't. But really, it is one of the major points. You see, the internet is a place where we can truly grow relationships. People love connecting with people through the internet and through email because it is such a passive form of communication. However, it requires some sort of connection to be able to grow that relationship. Any connection that you have, people are interested in receiving information and building that connection. But when you have none, when they don't know you, when they've never heard of you, as you guys can all attest to for yourself, when people send you information and you have no idea who they are, it becomes very irritating, and to be honest, it's very poor etiquette.
All right, great point. Well, now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into our 4 great ways to build email lists. I see the first one up here. It says web campaign. I'll break that down for us, Corey.
Web campaign. You should be involved somewhere on the internet, whether it's through blogs or whether it's through a social network like LinkedIn or Plaxo or MySpace, whatever it may be. You should be involved on the internet. Start to use whatever your campaign is. It may be your personal or your business website to start to gather email addresses. Let people know about what your reason is. You can start to promote it through that, but use the web where you're already actively involved to start to build your email database.
All right, great point. I see the second one up here, a very commonly overlooked one, is friends of friends.
Absolutely. You should start to enlist your friends. Once again, when you've got a great reason to send, you can start to really use not just the people that you know, but the people that your friends know. So enlist your neighbors, enlist your family and your friends for their email addresses of people that they know as well, and you can start to involve all their email lists into yours.
So it kind of builds your database exponentially.
Exactly.
All right, great point. I see the third one here. It says promote your reason.
Exactly. We talked about the major common denominator that separates the people who have a legitimate email list is that they have a real reason to build it. Promote that reason wherever you go, whether it's your blog, whether it's your weekly newsletter that you send out by email, whether it's the fact that you just want to say happy birthday to people through an e-card. Start to let people know that reason, be happy to promote it and excited about promoting it, and people will be excited about giving you their email address to include them into your reason.
No, you're absolutely right. I know a couple people who do this, and they're just very passionate about their reason for being online, and that passion is absolutely contagious. They're able to collect email addresses everywhere they go. It's such a powerful method. I wonder why more people don't employ it.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Well, I see the fourth and final thing we have here is offer incentives.
Offer incentives, exactly. If you think about it, an email address truly does have value. Because of the medium, because it's a free communication medium. It doesn't require a cell phone plan, it doesn't require postage. Because you can start to communicate for no cost, that email address has a monetary value that you can place on it. So don't be afraid to offer incentives. As people give you their email address, don't be afraid to give them a Starbucks card in return, a $5 Starbucks card to say thank you. Don't be afraid to hold contests or promotions for people that are part of your email list or part of your email campaign so that you can thank them and encourage them to continue to grow your email list as well. It certainly has a monetary value, and when you look at it that way, you shouldn't be afraid to offer incentives to grow that.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of those overlooked things, email address really does save you money in the long term. Okay, so so let's go over our 4 reasons, real quick recap. Number 1, use your web campaign. Number 2, employ friends of friends. Number 3, promote your reason. And number 4, offer incentives.
Absolutely. Those are 4 great ways you can start to build your email list. So that's all we have for you in this edition of Tech Corner. We'd like to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.